So, this is day 3 of the 21-day abundance challenge to raise your vibration. Welcome back. So, today we're going to be talking about, do you have a blind spot? Is there something that is holding you back from achieving your goals? And this is a really great exercise to try when you're feeling like, am I blocked or am I stuck or is there something going on? Now, a lot of times the things that we want to manifest, it takes time. It's not an overnight process, right? So it's like we can have our goal, we can have a dream, we can think about what we want, but sometimes it doesn't come forward in the way that we were expecting, or it takes longer, or it's like it feels like we're never getting there. So that's why we're doing these. We're doing different things to help us to get into a higher vibration, to attract the things that we want in our lives. And I want you to think about the goals that we created right in the beginning of this challenge. I'm going to keep going back to those, but we're going to let go of when it happens or how it happens and all of that. And our focus is to align with good feelings throughout this challenge, right? And every day. So today I want you to think about the goal that you are working on manifesting. What is it that you came to this challenge for, that when we talked about our goals, that something that got you really excited, that you were thinking, you know what, yeah, I want that. I want you to hold that in your mind right now, just kind of thinking about whatever that is. And what I want you to do is to imagine that your doorbell just rang at your house. You're at your house and your doorbell just rang. I want you to go to your door and I want you to imagine that you're going to open up the door. And there in front of you is your dream. There's your goal. There's the thing that you want more than anything. Picture that in your mind. See it. Now, your immediate reaction when you open the door, how do you feel? Are you excited? Are you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's here? Or do you notice that you have some resistance to it? So I'll tell you, when I did this, my guides had me do this. It was so interesting. It was like I was working on manifesting a relationship, right? And at the time, this was years ago, at the time, I opened up the door and I remember opening the door and thinking, I'm not ready. And I shut the door. And I was like, huh, that was so interesting. Why am I not ready? So if you had any resistance to that, you want to take some time today to really look at, why do I have resistance? Where is the resistance coming from, right? And for me, I felt like there were things that I needed to do, and take care of myself. Like I had to get some things in place in order for me to feel like I was ready for a relationship to come into my life. And when I started to work on those things, then it shifted my energy and my vibration. So that's what you're going to want to do. If you got any resistance to thinking about that, right, to opening up the door, and either whether this is a person that's coming into your life, whether this is a job or a career, whether this is, extra money. Did you feel any hesitation? Do you feel any resistance? Do you feel like, ooh, that's too much for me? Right? Though these are all really key things to be aware of, to see if you're blocking your dream from coming forward for you. And if you are, take the time to look at it, take it apart, and figure out why. Why do I have resistance to this? If it's where, you have this goal or this dream about having more money or having a bigger house, and you open up the door and your house is there, but you're worried about what other people are going to think about it, or you're worried about being judged in some way. You're worried about people, saying like, oh, that's, she's too, big for her bridges. That's a common saying that people will say. Um, and that could be something that's kind of going on in the background in your subconscious, that you may not feel like you're deserving of it, or you're worried about what other people, right, are going to say, or somebody's going to judge you, or is it too much for me? So take the time today to do that with each of your goals. And if there is some resistance, like I said, work on shifting that and figuring out what is the block. And then what do you need to do? Is there like some kind of an action step that you need to take to shift that? Like for me, it was like, you know what? I really feel like I need to work out. when I was trying to manifest somebody, I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm ready for that. So I need to work on me, right? On my physical so that I feel like I'm ready for my person and that I'm not, pushing somebody away. And we all have these subconscious hidden beliefs, right? The back of our mind that we don't even realize. So that's why this is so beneficial because it brings it right to the surface and it'll tell you if you're ready. When you open that door, are you ready? You're like, yeah, wahoo. You're like, you're jumping up and down. You're like, yeehaw, this is like, this is my thing. I'm so excited. Yes, bring it in. Come on in. Now, that's the energy and that's the feeling that you want to have. Okay. If you don't have that, then you definitely have some kind of a block. Now, there could be a little bit resistance to this, but that might just be where, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready for it, but I'm like a little bit afraid or I'm a little bit timid about this situation. That's a different energy and that's okay for you to have a little bit of that energy of being like, ooh, I'm excited, but there's a little bit of trepidation, right? About how's this going to work? How is this person, right, going to fit into my life? How am I going to make space for this person? Or, yeah, I'm going to have this beautiful house that I want, but I'm going to have to pack up everything. I'm going to have to move. That's okay. That energy is okay. But if you're feeling like I want to shut the door and slam the door because I'm really not ready for this thing to come into my life yet, then you definitely have work to do. So sit with that and figure out, do I have resistance to this? Or am I totally ready and open? And I'm like, yeah, yes, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. Let's do this thing, whatever it is. Let me know if you do have resistance to this. And again, if you do, don't be beating yourself up about it. This is a great thing because now you can see it. Now you can see what the issue is, and then you can figure out what do I need to do to change that resistance. And that worked for me because within a few months of me really like working out and taking care of myself, I visualized opening the door and I was ready. I was like, I pulled him right in. I was like, get over here. I'm ready for you. I had zero resistance. And that's what you want to feel. Okay. So you want to work on getting to that place. Please let me know, how this works for you. Do this with your short-term goal and your long-term goal, and have fun with it. The whole intention of this challenge is to have fun, is to notice, where your energy is, where you're putting your energy, and if you do have resistance, that's going to hold you back from manifesting what you want. But knowing that you have resistance, knowing that you have fear is going to help you to take action and it's going to help you to shift that so that you can bring it in. All right. I send you so much love today. I hope you have fun with this and please like, share, and comment about your experience. All right. I will see you tomorrow.